Hey, what's up everyone? Never mind that. We're here to talk about how-to videos. This one is the upper body series, and we're gonna start off with bench. As always, we did squats, that huge lift for legs. Now we're gonna do bench, that awesome warm up and that awesome exercise for the upper body. Now I start most of my upper body days with bench or some sort of large compound exercise. It's relatively isolated, but at the same time it's very compound because you're hitting those triceps, you're hitting your chest, you're hitting your shoulder, a little bit of your back. There's some stabilization muscles going on. It's a huge exercise. Let's talk about how to, because I see a lot of people do this not extremely wrong, but minimally wrong, and minimal on the bench makes a huge difference. Let's run through a clip right here. So as you just saw, when you see my shoulders kind of lift off and set back down, you want to set your shoulders down on that bench. You want to get a good square foundation on the actual bench platform. That way when you push off of it, you get an equal push on both sides and one part of your shoulder is not leaning off the bench. I've seen that happen a lot. People tend to put their dominant shoulder blade on the bench in this more sturdy position, leaving their left or non-dominant side off, which is going to allow you to push a little bit harder on your right and your left's going to be a little bit lacking behind. I see that a lot of the times. It's in virtue of the benches not being very wide. If you're a bigger guy, you're gonna have a little bit of hangover. You just wanna get a good square foundation on that bench press. So another thing, as you can see, I'm going all the way down, touching my chest. There is a little foam block you can get that trains that large part of the exercise just to come almost about 80% of the way. It really focuses on that push-up, but I like to go all the way down. I think it trains you to just get in that mindset of going all the way down, all the way up, without fully locking out those elbows and getting a really hard strain. You see it all the time where people hyperextend their elbows to get that last rep in. You never want that. Your elbows are really fragile. They take a lot of abuse over and over and over in the gym, and the last thing you want is to get tinnitus in your elbow, because it's going to affect not only bench, it's going to affect everything in your upper body, and it's just not fun to deal with. And if you could prevent it by going almost to a full lock, just not completely fully extending, why wouldn't you do that just to prevent some injuries? But also you could see that when I go down, my arms are flat. You see a lot of people, when they bench, they kind of tuck their arms in, creating this little V right here. You want to make sure that your arms are flat. It comes down completely flat, which draws that pump into your chest, arms, and shoulders all the way across. If you start to bring it down at an angle, what's really going to happen is that's going to focus a lot of that on your triceps and the back of your shoulders, and then the underside of your pec. Getting that good square 180-degree bend is what's going to get you that cross utilization of those muscles. It's going to increase your overall bench strength. I see this a lot, especially with Alex. I'm sure you guys remember him. He was one of the guys who's been in a couple of our videos. That was his tendency, because it's kind of normal to want to bring it down like this, because you see the bar hitting your chest. You really want to elongate and get a good 180 degrees and then go all the way down, all the way up. It's going to feel odd if you've done it perhaps the wrong way, but once you build that strength up all the way across, it adds so much weight to your bench. And not only that, but you allow yourself to get a pump across your whole upper body. Now I'm gonna slow the video down here so you can really see the drawn out of how my wrists are. Now there's two ways you commonly see people bench. So if this is the bar, you see them grab it like underhand and they bend their wrist down. So they're benching with their wrist at a really weird torque. Now if you've ever had someone complain that their wrist hurt when they're benching, that's what's going on. You want that really good straight wrist, because that's what spread loads that weight down your arm, and then you can handle it a lot better. When you bend your wrist and you really start to struggle, not only does it make it really hard to get the lift, because now all that weight's going onto your floppy wrist, but also that weight is now curving back. So you've probably seen people where they're benching and they go up, they go to come down and they hit the little the safety clips. A lot of that's because their wrists are bent, which means the weight's further back, and they hit those weights and then it throws you all off. If your form's not there, your weight's not gonna be there, and if your weight's not there and your focus isn't there, you're gonna get hurt. I've seen it a lot of times where people get up and they're holding their wrists, it just causes too much weight strain. So really pay attention to the straightness of your wrist. You'll see mine, I do what's called like a suicide grip, which is with thumbs under the bar versus a full-on grip of the bar. I like to have my thumbs out. I feel like it gives me a lot of good lateral support with the actual wrist versus grabbing like that. I feel like the tendency to bend your wrist is definitely there, and I don't want that, so I put thumbs out or thumbs under. It gives me a better thing. Another variation you've seen is people taking their feet off the ground, and I do this from time to time. It's a core thing. It uses having your legs on the ground allows you to balance. It allows the stability to be there. You'll see people raise their feet up on the bench using their core to stabilize, which is awesome. I'm all for a little bit of core training, but at this point in the game, I'm going for a really high strength and really high weight. When I start cutting and when starts getting into like the abdominals and the cardio and kind of stuff like that, I'll probably throw the leg in variation or the leg up variation. That way, it, inadvertently hits your core. But for right now, that's not the game I'm going for. Another huge thing is positioning on the actual platform. I see this all the time. Actually, in this video right here, I'm a little bit too far back. You really want to get that bar to come down and be straight across, probably about like 2 to 3 fingers above your nipple. It sounds really dumb, but when you bring it down, you want it to be across that medial portion of your pec. For me, like I said, I have shorter arms, so when I unrack it, my judgment is, I don't know if I've included this because I kind of think it looks goofy, but I'll pick myself up to the bar and touch my nose. So when I know my nose is at that even part of the bar, when I unrack it, just because my unique set of circumstances, arms, like height, torso length, I know when my nose touches that bar, when I unrack it, it's going to be perfectly on my chest. If you unrack it, get it down, and you notice it's too high, don't continue to do that exercise in a really weird format. Rack it, reposition, do it correctly. Now, obviously this is regular bench. There's a bunch of different variations. You could have the dumbbell, decline, incline, one-handed while you're isolating another hand. There's a bunch of stuff. Guaranteed you're gonna see a lot more videos on different variations of bench. It's a good one to start with. It's very basic, and it's a good one for building overall upper body strength in that really high torso that we want, those chest, that triceps, arms, and shoulders. So the overall tips: make sure to keep your wrist straight, make sure that you have the correct positioning up and down on the bench, make sure you have a good foundation within your shoulder blades and your back on the actual bench so you get a good stable platform to work from. Make sure that you are doing the appropriate weight, keep it safe, and lift it smart. Make sure you get those gains in the gym and you're not doing anything stupid that could jeopardize you, get you hurt, and keep you out of the game. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to smash that like button for the how-to series. Your support is in every video is always greatly appreciated. I see all the comments. You guys are awesome. If I don't comment you back, or if I don't hit that thumbs up, call me out. I want to be called out. Hold me accountable. Anyways, hope your guys' day is going well. Make sure to get out there and get a good gym session in, but most importantly, take it easy.